There is carnival music faintly playing somewhere in my house. I've walked through the whole place and can't find the source. It isn't louder in any one spot. It is just evenly, eerily faint. Carnival music everywhere. Hey guys, like 8 years after this post was made, I have learned that I have experienced auditory hallucinations for the majority of my life. At my wedding, you'll be able to come alone. Bring a +1 or choose a -1 where you can uninvite one person of your choosing. No questions asked. Power move. Uninvite the groom. Takes off my shirt in front of my love interest so she can see all my scars like in an angsty book scene. Delicately tracing them with her fingertips. What happened to you? Me. Well, that one's where I lied down on a light bulb, and that one is from running through cornstalks barefoot, and that one is because I kept scratching a mosquito bite in my sleep, and that one is from fighting a goose, and this is from when I fell through a window in a tickle fight. And why does anyone try to fight a goose? Sometimes the goose gives you no option. Mayo. On the Edinburgh Zoo site it says there is a daily penguin parade at 14:15, but it may be cancelled last minute as it is a voluntary parade. We do not coax the penguins with food and they may not want to go out. Mayo. Anarcho-penguinism. This is the cutest goddamn thing I've ever heard. I saw the penguin parade. It was a very slow parade because the penguiners take their sweet time and aren't very fast walkers to begin with. Can I volunteer to be a penguin? I love the infinite multiverse theory because that means there's a universe where I've pulled every single fire alarm I've ever seen. Good for her. I want to see a cutthroat kitchen sabotage where they have to cut everything with a sword while blindfolded with local anesthetic in all of their fingers. Okay, they're Jigsaw. Calm the F down. If I were a drink, I'd be cherry vanilla coke. If you were a drink, what would you be? Everyone's like bleach or sewage. Please calm down, edgelords. I was going through my emails, and one of my online orders has been dispatched, and when I ordered it, I had to put in a state, but New Zealand doesn't have states, and I was annoyed, so I put New Zealand doesn't have states, UFS, and now in the dispatch email under delivery address it totally has New Zealand doesn't have states, UFS as part of it. Whoops. Yeah, so, New Zealand doesn't have states, UFS. Yep, okay. Sorry, male person. Oh my fking god, I can't breathe. Finally, a Tumblr story that's true. The Food Network show I want. 4 chefs compete in a contest to determine who is the best, but they are not given certain ingredients they must use. They can use whatever they want. They are given the name of the dish. The judge says, make me purple nirvana, and we get to watch one chef make a gratin blue potatoes, another make a blueberry shortcake, etc. The worst dish is eliminated until one chef wins. Parents will make food a punishment, a reward, an incentive, and a threat, but then be like, how come my kid has an unhealthy relationship with food in their body? Travis McElroy, the internet's best friend. We need to return to traditional manliness. Boys should wear pink. Leave beer brewing to the women. And write more poetry. Male friends should sit in each other's laps. Wear more stockings. Wigs. 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 Lacy embroidered handkerchiefs for all. Leave wristwatches to women. Travis is the only man allowed to have a Twitter. Let's see you little punks smash my letterbox now. This reminds me of this guy who used to live on my dad's street. Every time it snowed, the snowplow would take out his mailbox, and only his mailbox. And just to be clear, it was done intentionally. No one knows why, but the driver of the snowplow would target his box and mow it down. He'd call the dot to complain, and would get an earful of excuses that amounted to not our fault you have a wimpy mailbox. Fast forward to the next winter. First decent snow starts falling, and every kid is hoping for a snow day. It was right around 4:30 AM that the whole neighborhood was woken up to this loud clang and the screech of tearing metal. My dad made it to the window first and started laughing his ass off. Sitting outside was one very totaled and almost ripped in half snowplow. And these weren't little pickup trucks with a blade on the front. We have these up in New York. Well, turns out over the summer, my dad's neighbor got himself a backhoe and sank a steel I-beam into the ground in his front yard. Then he covered it with a decorative wood sleeve and topped it with a brand new mailbox. When the snowplow driver tried to mow it down, it was a bad case of a movable object meets unstoppable force, and the mailbox won. With the plow firmly impaled on the I-beam, it was very clear that the driver had gone out of his way to hit it. Naturally, the dot wasn't happy, and the neighbor's reply was simple: "Not my fault, you have a wimpy snowplow." They did try to sue him for the damages, but as he had gone to the town, gotten approval for the post and its installation, and made sure everything was up to code, it was thrown out pretty quick. And for anyone wondering about the driver, he was fine. His job and tighty white ties, not so much. That is a very satisfying read. Good luck scaring millennials. We've survived Y2K, 9/11, multiple wars, school shootings, financial collapse, and we eat it for fun. Phone rings. Millennials. I can't. In movies, when a scientist is held hostage and is forced to make a bomb or virus, like my guy, those villains don't know shit about science. Just make a gumball machine. My dude. 8th grade science fair volcano, but fancy looking. I just want once, where the villain is like, "You are too late, I detonated the device," and instead of doom and gloom, it is just confetti sparklers with a Baz Waterloo playing, and the scientist is like, "Be you thought." Coming from a professional event planner, weddings are egregiously expensive because companies openly raise prices at the word wedding. Pro tip: never drop the word wedding while planning. If you don't need to, most things can be for an event you're planning. This obviously doesn't include things like the venue, DJ, who needs specific wedding songs, and the wedding dress company, if you're going that route versus just buying a dress. For my wedding I got discounted cupcakes, flowers, decor, bridesmaids dresses, groomsmen attire, and invitations. I did this by either searching for things that aren't marketed for weddings or not telling the companies I was working with it was for a wedding. Because honestly, most of the time they don't need to know why you're ordering. These companies target people planning their weddings and mark up everything the second wedding is said. And it's said often, because people assume the services change exponentially for weddings. They absolutely do not. The best example are the cupcakes I had for my wedding. I used a designer cupcake store in town instead of spending $1,000 on a wedding cake. If you place a large order of cupcakes with a cake tree for display, it costs about $150 for 100, which is what I did. When you order their wedding package, the price raised to a $700 base for 100 cupcakes. The only other perk includes a tasting. Forget that. Our tasting was buying a few cupcakes in flavors we thought we'd like and picked 3. It cost maybe $20. What these companies do is scummy and targets people who don't have information about the event industry. I will yell it from the rooftops until people realize there's a better way. Pancake the steam-rollered teddy bear, found at the OP shop last Christmas. Though he's pretty two-dimensional, he has a unique personality and is perfectly travel sized to squish in a suitcase or to slip down the side of the bed. I'm in tears. I can't stop thinking about Pancake. These 2 women came up to my register with their twins, and they called each other honey, and their kids called them both mom, and my soul ascended to the heavens. I was so happy. When I worked as a contractor, I knocked on a heavily pregnant woman's door, and she said she'd have to talk to the missus in a heavy outback accent, and I actually forgot how to speak for a second, and had to explain that I'm not homophobic, I'm just super gay, and hearing her say that launched my souls directly to Nirvana. Did Nickelback copyright strike the f***ing president? Donald Trump. Look at this photograph. This media has been disabled in response to a report by the copyright owner. Every time I do, it makes me laugh.